today's under 20-minute, no repeat mini band workout, targeting lower body and core primarily. This is a standalone workout. It can be used as an extensive warm-up. It can be used as an active recovery day. Lots of functional movement, meaning motions and patterns that we move through in everyday life, and thinking about mind-muscle connection and engaging certain muscle groups when we move that we might not normally think to engage in those movements. We will be working for 45 seconds and we'll have 15 seconds to rest, transition to the next move. There are 17 moves total. And I have two bands. This one is a little bit lighter. We're going to start out with the lighter band, and then this one's a little bit heavier. We'll use this for the majority of the workout. If you only have one band, that's fine. We'll adjust. Please go ahead and grab your band and loop it around the shoelace area of your feet and step your feet about hip width distance apart. The first move is going to be a hinge, so a deadlift. So hinge at the hips, spread your collarbones, press your heart forward as you draw your shoulder blades down your back, and then squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone under as you come up to stand. So a hinge deadlift move is different from a squat. In this move, we're engaging our hamstrings in the back, the big muscles in the backs of our legs. We're using our glutes, and then we're also engaging the muscles in our back. I really want you to think about keeping your shoulder blades hugged down and in towards one another in their sockets, and your chest open. Okay, we're gonna keep the band here around our feet. So you're gonna step your feet wide so that the band stays taut. And we're just gonna come into an alternating march. But I really want you to think about when this right leg is grounded, squeezing that glute and lifting the rest of that leg away from the ground, even as it roots down. So the foot roots down and everything else is active and lifting away from the mat. So my low abs are turning on to help me drive that knee up. I'm using my quadriceps, my glute, and then I'm also engaging the back of the stabilizing leg. Exhaling as the knee comes up and inhaling as I lower with control, not just allowing that foot to slam back to the floor. So a very similar move, but we're gonna cross opposite elbow in the direction of the opposite knee, and I don't want you crunching down. I want you staying elevated, so waist and side ribs lifting up and out of the hips. So very much turning on the core here, the side obliques. Drop your shoulder blades down, draw your front ribs down. Woo! Lost my step there. Stepped off the edge of the mat. Happens to the best of us. Congratulations, Jill, you're human. So chest stays tall and proud. Again, those shoulder blades are hugging in towards one another as I extend the elbows out away from each other. All right, I'm gonna put this just above my ankles. And I'm going to come into some alternating step backs, so I'm going to turn here. Step your feet wide enough that the band is taut, and then come into a ready position in your knees. And you're just going to step back one foot at a time. Bring your mind to your buns, squeeze them. Quadriceps are turned on. Hamstrings are also firing up as you press back, and the glutes, of course. So think about keeping your chest over your hips as best that you can. A very micro hinge at the hips here. The chest is only leaning forward a little bit. After this exercise, I'm going to grab my heavier band, but if you only have one, you're just going to use the one that you were just using. And we're just going to bring it up above our knees. Again, bring some tension on the band. We're going to come into squats. So toes out at 11 and 1. You're going to drive down and drive up. Drop down rather, and drive up. And it makes it a little bit harder if you keep your palms in front of your chest. And a squat is like an elevator. It's straight up and down, whereas the hinge is more of a diagonal. So that move that we started with is very different from this squat. So I squat down, I squeeze my glutes, squeeze my quads to come up to stand. Make sure that those knees aren't caving in, that you're pressing out against the band and engaging the outer glutes as well. Okay, a continuation of that squat is going to be a lateral squat walk. So I'm going to squat down, stick my butt back, slight tilt under in my tail, and I'm going to step a couple steps to the right and a couple steps to the left. Make sure that all 10 toes face forward. If you want to make it harder, you can bring your hands behind your head into a little prisoner lateral walk. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is important. I want you thinking about your glutes. Squeeze them. Squeeze them, squeeze them, okay? All right, I'm gonna come down into a quadruped position. So hands and knees. Pull your belly button back in and up. Left toes can be tucked or untucked. The right leg is gonna extend back. So we are working into our arms a little bit here. Draw your shoulder blades down and back into their sockets. And we're going to come into rainbows as you lift those toes up and over. Spread all 10 fingers nice and wide. And then push your palms into the mat like you're pushing it away from you. And then keeping your shoulders and your hips square to the mat, so not opening to the right. So now we're going to do a donkey kick and a hydrant alternating on the right side. So squeeze that right glute, pull the belly button back in and up, front ribs draw down, press through the heel, donkey kick, inhale, knee to knee, and then exhale out to the side in a hydrant. Give an extra press into that right hand so that you're not opening up to the right side. Scoop the low belly in and up and pull the front ribs down towards the belly button. Of course, squeeze your buns. Oh, I'm so sorry about the noise. The dog is going crazy. She insisted on being in the house because my son came home from school, and then now she's decided that that's not where she wants to be. Okay, I'm going to lie down on my left side, and I'm going to continue working the right leg. We're going to come into clamshells. So knees bent 90 degrees, and we're going to press up against the band with the right leg. You can advance it by coming up onto your forearm. You can bring that right hand behind your head. So we're working into both glutes here, actually. Press the inner feet together. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. And as you exhale, your core really turns on, but keep it turned on the entire time. like your dog was running around jumping and you were laying on your back and it was gonna jump on your tummy. Whoo! Never ceases to amaze me how much these little movements burn. Okay, now we're gonna switch do those same movements but on the left. So I'm just gonna turn this way so you can see. We're gonna start with the rainbows. So organize the joints, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Extend the left leg. And then exhale as you lift it up and over. Inhaling as you come through center. And then keeping both hips level. So think about, I don't know, whatever your beverage of choice is. Kombucha, coffee, is resting on your low back. So those glutes are engaged. Holy moly, my left butt cheek is on fire. Who comes up with this stuff? Oh wait, that's me. Okay. Whoo, shake it out. Now those donkeys and hydrants on the left. So I have the perfect workout that I'm going to film after this to pair with this workout. It's another 20-minute workout, so I will link that at the end of this workout. It's going to be a no equipment, low impact, but definitely challenging workout. So pressing into that left palm to keep your hips from rotating side to side. Keep the abs engaged. Take any arch out of the low back and then lower with control and press out against the band with control. Okay, for those clamshells, I'm gonna come down onto my right side this time and then lift the left leg. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can bring that left hand behind your ear, and then if you want to progress it even more, you're going to press the right forearm and palm into the mat and really press those inner feet, especially the inner heels, in together. And then keep smiling. Even when the work is hard, keep smiling. This is something we get to do, right? We're lucky that we get to move our bodies in a way that is good for us. All right, we're gonna come onto our back. We're gonna do some alternating dead bugs. So tabletop the legs, bring the palms to face each other, shoulders flat against the mat. And at the bell, we're going to extend opposite arm and opposite leg. And you probably won't be able to extend your leg as far as you normally do, just because we need to keep that low back nice and flat on the mat. But you extend as far as you can to keep that low back flat on the mat. Inhaling as you come to center. And exhaling to extend. Okay, now legs straight up, arms overhead, and at the bell, as we exhale, you're going to press out against the band and crunch your fingers between your legs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift and crunch. And then keep the shoulders down in their sockets even as you crunch up. You can also just bring the fingertips behind the head if it's too much. It feels good to make a reach forward. All right, I'm gonna come into a glute bridge. So heels make their way in towards your glutes. Loop those shoulders down and back into their sockets. Pull the front ribs in and down. Exhale, press into your feet. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Inhale, slowly roll down one vertebra at a time, beginning at your shoulders. Tailbone comes down last. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you're going to hover your bum at the bottom and then press up without ever allowing your tailbone to come to rest on the mat. And we don't want to shove our hips so far forward that we hyperextend our low back here. Really press into all four corners of your feet and squeeze your butt. And you'll notice that you can't just like fling your fronts of your hips up super high, and that's good. Okay, now we're going to take it into a marching bridge. So at the bell, we're going to come up into that bridge again. So reorganize, shoulders down, palms on the mat, all four corners of the feet pressing into the mat. So exhale, lift, and then walk your right knee in towards your chest. Bring the right foot down, keep the hips lifted. Press the left knee in towards your chest. Squeeze the glute, especially on the leg that's stabilizing, but you need to continue squeezing both to keep the hips in a line. So now, rather than being on our back, that beverage is on our fronts of our hips, and we want to keep them level. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can lift your toes away from the mat, but only if you can do so to keep and still not drop down into your low back. Okay, last move is going to be a combo crunch. So my feet are going to come to the mat, my elbows are going to open out to the side, and then as I exhale, I'm going to bring elbows to knees, knees to elbows. Inhale, lower. Exhale, slowly draw it in. Hold for 2, 1. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbows to knees, knees to elbows. Inhale. Exhale, and only lower those feet as low as you can and keep that low back flat on the mat. So this is our last move. If you want to continue on to another workout, I have one linked in the card that's here at the end of this video, or you can check out all of the playlists on my channel. You can repeat that again for a very thorough booty burn. Please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you know anyone that you think would enjoy that video, please share it with them. Keep moving. Find movement that you enjoy, whether it's hiking outdoors, walking outdoors, running outdoors, swimming, walking on a treadmill, running on a treadmill, cycling, lifting weights, yoga, Pilates bar, whatever it is that you enjoy. Continue to do that movement. Show up for yourself consistently, and come back here and I will see you again soon. Thanks, friends.